Hi traders, welcome to Elite Currency. My name is Chris, and this video, of course, taking a look at the pound dollar and euro dollar for the upcoming trading week, the last few days in February. So starting with the euro dollar daily chart, we see the price is moving sideways and approaching the support zone. We did have a reaction on Thursday with a bullish daily candle. Friday is basically an inside candle. Price did not break the low or high of Thursday. Kind of a small candle, no really decision or direction in that candle. So let's take a look a little bit at higher time frames and see what kind of candles those are giving. So we have a couple of days left before this monthly candle is finished. So far it's looking bearish, but of course we do have those few days, so we'll have to wait until then before we can analyze this. But of course last month, January, was very bullish. We did get a break of last month's high in this month by just a bit. This week, basically inside candle compared to last week. Last week was a bullish candle, although it had a bit of a wick at the top. So ultimately it does, for the moment, still look like price is going sideways, and that this basically could be a wave A right here, this could be a wave B, and this could be a wave C. Alternatively, and up it goes for a wave 5 if this is a wave 4. Let me show you. Here we go, this is an A, this is a B, and this is a C correction of a bigger wave 4, and up it goes for a wave 5. That's one scenario. Now, if price does struggle to get up, because there is a different possibility, this could be wave 4, not here, but already earlier. Okay, so this could be wave 4. This could be wave 5 because it did break this top. It could be a truncated wave 5 as well, which means that more or less the wave 5 stops at the previous high. That's possible too. And this is wave 1, and up it goes for wave 2. So whether this is a wave 5, a bullish wave 5, or a bearish wave 2, I'm expecting upside, but how it moves up will decide whether it's a wave 5 or 2. If it's a wave 2, on a 4-hour chart specifically, we should see price probably make some kind of ABC correction, struggle at around this fib. We'll put a fib from here to the bottom. At the moment that is this bottom, and we should see price struggle at 124.40, 125, and start to show bearish price action there and fall probably relatively quickly down to 123.70 and lower perhaps. So if that happens, that this could be more like an ABC correction. Whereas if price moves up, shows solid and strong candles, and then starts to move sideways like this, and we put a fib from here to here, and it doesn't retrace that deep, maybe only to a 38 before continuing higher and breaking that bull flag, well then a wave 5 is more likely. So it really depends on the price action patterns that are visible when price moves up. Now, whether price moves up now or does it make one more little dash down to retest the real bottom here and then bounce, that is a question I still need to see. I think that the breakout for upside would occur if price manages to break above this kind of resistance zone about right here, which is 123.30, 123.50. So if price pushes above that, yes, that could be a breakout up to these targets and perhaps further. Whereas if price, breaks through this trend line, there could be one more smaller breakout. I personally would not be interested in trading this one because the space from this 122.80ish down to 122.30 is very small. So, but there could be a small little bounce there, breakout to the downside, maybe tradable on lower time frames. And here there could be a bounce where I'm looking for candlestick patterns on 4-hour chart, maybe daily chart, for a bounce. Now, there could be a break too. I don't think it's likely at this moment, but if the price does break through this support trend line and this support zone, then basically there could be a strong continuation of the downtrend. That doesn't have to happen right away. There could be a break, pullback, of course, and continuation like this before we have that bigger move, perhaps down to 120, all right, to test the long-term moving average. So this zone right here is possible. So if price breaks through this support level, there should be a continuation, but once again, there could be a break, pullback, continue before we get that bigger push. All right, for the moment though, I don't think a break below this bottom is likely. I do think that a bounce is more likely, either a bounce at this bottom or a breakout here for a move up to these fibs, and then we'll have to see, as I said already before, how price responds there, whether it breaks or bounces. All right, moving on to the pound dollar. Basically, price has not been able to break through this support trend line. A lot of trend lines here, so let me explain. We got a long-term support trend line, used that, basically price used that as a bounce, used also the channel bottom as a bounce. We talked about that last time. In fact, in the previous video, I said price is at a bouncing spot right now. It was the 1 hour chart. I said, look, right, draw this trend line and you'll see price is going to be at a bounce or break spot. I did think that bounce was more likely, and up it went to resistance. Then I said, this resistance level is going to be a bounce or break spot. And it did bounce, and then it tried to break. Let's see if it has enough momentum to really break. All right, so back to the 4 hour chart. And you can see that price is basically retesting this key resistance level at around 140. So a break above 140, I think, could be a breakout, bullish breakout to the upside. And we might see some good momentum coming into the market. Of course, keep an eye on other trend lines too, like here, for instance. All right, that's something to be aware of. So around 141, I guess. If it breaks above 141, we could expect more momentum to kick in and send the pound dollar higher, perhaps to test these highs, for instance, up at 142.50 and 143.50. All right, so those are the key levels and zones to keep an eye on. Now, if price fails to break here to the upside, but rather bounces back down, it will challenge again 139 around here. And if it breaks through the trend line and 139, 138.50, there could be a breakout to the downside. All right, and we might see price test this bottom at around 137.50. Ultimately, if it breaks 137.50, there is space down to 136. So down, down, down. All right, those are the downside targets. Upside target, upside target, upside target. All right, and those all, of course, could be resistance levels as well, and turnaround spots. All right, so that's how I see the playing field. That's how I see basically the key decision zones. Now it depends on how price will respond to those decision zones and which zone I like to trade or not. Not every zone I like to trade. I would not like to trade this to the downside. I think that's too small. But the break here, here, and here, yeah, that would be interesting. Or the break here is still okay. Small, but okay. Okay, that's small, but still acceptable, I guess. This is a bit better, as you can see right there. All right, so that's how I see the zones. I wait for price action to confirm if price is going into that zone or bouncing or breaking at the decision zone. And then it depends if I like, that particular area to trade or not. All right, sometimes yes, sometimes no. But always I set up basically decision zones and wait for price to react to those levels and then decide, depending on the reaction, if it's interesting to trade or not. So this is how I'm looking at the pound dollar regarding the path of least resistance. I think that ultimately from a higher time frame, let's get rid of all of this. 1 second. And take a look at the daily chart and weekly chart. Yeah, the weekly candle really, monthly candle, previous monthly candle was still bullish, but this month is not closed. Weekly had a small inside doji candle. Last week was bullish. So I think that ultimately it is in a little bit of a triangle, as we can see here. Let's see what the bigger break will be regarding the daily chart. If it's a break to the upside, the moving averages are aligned, as you can see, to the upside. The short term is above the long term. So if price breaks above the short term, we do have an aligned bullish breakout. All right. If it breaks to the downside, there could be a move back to the long-term moving average, and there could be a bigger kind of correction. And there is this space, if it breaks below the triangle, back to the long-term moving average. More free analysis at elitecurrency.com. Also, you can check out our ECS.start package with a lot of indicators and material for free. And wish you all good trading. Cheers.